Savage Worlds. Whether we're at the table or over the internet, in our role-playing game, fantasy is just the beginning. From the Wild West to the depths of outer space and beyond. Anytime, any place. They're all Savage Worlds.
So, welcome to the Iconic Production channel. I am Jane, your GM, and this, as I was saying, is a very awkwardly not named group because I can't call them anything yet. They are just four random people on the streets of Crucible. Love
So four random people on the streets of Crucible.
that does not roll off the tongue. So, we're gonna get into it. When we last left off, the group had dealt with the sewers of Crucible and had discovered, met some very interesting characters. You managed to meet Kinesian, the flesh golems, who sort of helped you out a little bit, but was also this Stitch was also a snitch, and you were unable to prevent him from, ratting you out, and was told, Hesea, the vampire, who has a grudge against Sam, but Sam cannot remember what happened. Says she needs to feed from him twice more to settle an ancient debt. So who knows what's going on with Sam. Chen definitely slipped and slid into the sewers of Crucible, and therefore the group decided to split up, go refresh themselves, scrub extra hard with the magical Earth Estate pumice stone, and return, regrouping at the Bette Noir, a bar in Crucible. But before we start, we've been kind of giving a background to everything. And so, Chen, there was once a time when you were not the awesome dragon-souled samurai wandering the streets of Crucible. There was a time when you were, as you put it to me earlier, an awkward teenage young changeling on the streets of Crucible. What was that like for you?
Oh, just very uncomfortable. People don't super like shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm.
So while teenage years are terrible already as far as being an outcast and people teasing you, it's really bad when they also don't like your entire personhood in general. But I did try my best to fit in by constantly changing my shape to fit in, but turns out that also wasn't super cool. So I kind of just got bullied a lot. It was a huge problem.
And there was this one time, we'll set the scene, you hit your back hitting the rough stone bricks of one of the alleyways of Crucible, as several Cambions, half human, half fiend, who no one likes in Crucible, were picking on you, right? But this time it seemed like it was going a little further. The physical altercations were growing. You were already bleeding from part of the side of your mouth, a little bit of nose. They were calling you horrible names, such as Faceless, Shadow Sucker, and even worse. And one of them pulled a blade. What did you do in that situation? It's a 3-inch knife. Nothing that would have concerned Chen of today. But at that time, the largest blade that had ever been raised at you in anger, glistening in the light of the tower, kind of giving it this shadowy sheen on one side and this brilliant edge on the other. And the Cambion clearly tapping into their fiendish nature. You could smell the brimstone, you could smell the hate roiling off of this thing. What did you do in that moment?
I want to say I did the only thing I could think of, which was to A, burst into tears, and B, take off my shoe and chuck it at them as hard as I could, which unfortunately I think just missed.
Ooh.
It was a huge problem.
Now you only have one shoe.
Now I only have one shoe.
Somehow even more miserable vision
That was a rough day.
than what we started with. And that is the point. As the Cambion goes rushing in, that this gout of flame hit the back of the alleyway, scorching the stones, boiling the muck and the slime of the city, and scouring them clean and singeing the backs of these Cambion. And as you look up, kind of through the now darkened silhouettes of these three Cambion, I won't call them, young ladies, right? They were in their late teens, probably only 4 or 5 years older than you. You see a trio of samurai in the silvered armor bearing the crest of the Silver Dragon clan.
So cool.
And that was the moment you said that you fell in love and wanted to, that's what set you on this path. So, Chen, you are a shapeshifter. And for those of you who are not familiar with the backstory of Crucible, they are universally reviled ever since one of the governors of the tower was revealed to have been a shapeshifter. There were a bunch of hunts that ran through the city as if, anyone could be a shapeshifter, and this one was running the government, who was actually who they said to be. And it started a witch hunt for Crucible that wiped out. It was not a secret war. And nor was there any kill crews involved.
But it wasn't a secret invasion.
It was neither a secret invasion. Trying to get sued in the Marvel comic.
I mean, but she is a teenage mutant ninja dragon now.
So, you are of only a handful of shapeshifters left. What would have drawn you to the Lord's service?
Well, as I said, those young women were super cool. I really liked how tough they were in being able to defend themselves. And I think they liked me when I unsuccessfully, but still forcefully threw that shoe. So they were happy to take me under their wing. And I just really wanted to be able to not be put in that position again and to be just like them because they were so cool. They probably watched MTV. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
And yeah, just so I could help any other young preteen shapeshifters or downtrodden who are getting bullied by mean people.
Okay.
I wanted to be just like those samurai.
Okay. So, Chen, you have your own spot in Lord Sakurito's estate. You have a spot. Is that where you go back to refresh yourself?
I go directly to the pawn shop.
Which pawn shop? Just to a pawn shop?
A pawn shop. My pawn shop of choice. The one
Okay.
who I, after having visited several different pawn shops in several different corners of the city, I have determined likes me the most and is willing to give me the best prices.
Okay, so it's not so much that they like you the most, they ask the least questions. And that is
Fair
the
enough.
broken...
The broken drum?
Yes.
Like, okay.
And as you stand there waiting for service at the broken drum, Sam, where do you go to refresh yourself?
To the, do I have an office this time around? Sometimes I have an office, sometimes it doesn't materialize.
Oh, that's right. Your office has materialized.
I head to my office and roll myself a cigarette.
Okay.
So it's like the magic shops in Discworld. Sometimes they appear.
Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. All right. Before we do this, as you guys are all traveling through the city, you got a lot of things that have come up. This weird door. This guy Sam that you're now connected to has a lot of enemies just roaming the streets of Crucible looking.
More than I even know.
So we're going to do what is called an interlude. So we're going to do several of these over the course of the game. And interludes are a mechanic in Savage Worlds that kind of help pass the time, if you will. So, Jenny, as we started with Chen's kind of history, tell me when to stop that.
Shuffle the deck first.
Yep.
So let him start shuffling.
Yeah.
When do you want me to stop?
No.
Cut?
No.
All right. Please hand this card to Jenny. This one to Beth.
Thank you.
This one to Sam. All right. So first of all, I just need to know the suit that you guys have.
Are we allowed to show?
We're gonna start with Ben. Ben, reveal your suits part. All right, so Ben, during this time, would you like to share what you do during your downtime, a piece of your backstory, or tell the tale of an obstacle or challenge from your past?
I shall tell the tale of why I was not murdered when my entire rest of my monkey family was.
Okay. So what's as you're sitting there, there's something that draws your eye on the shelf of the pawn shop. It's a little silver monkey, almost square, right? As
Okay.
wide as he is tall. You're not quite there. But what's strange about this is it is holding a katana above its head, and it is looking right at you as if it is sitting in judgment.
I asked the
Proprietor is not there.
Okay. Is it inside of a glass case, or can I touch it?
It's behind the counter.
Okay, I'm going to reach one of my extraordinarily long arms over and take it.
Did you just break into this pawn shop where it looked like when it was
It isn't by chance the sort of thing that you can, summon, right? It's not like one of these magic statues that suddenly turn into a living thing.
No.
So it's not one of my relatives who's been stretched into a tiny
No.
statue.
So tell me the story. What are you remembering as you see this statue?
As I am remembering looking at the statue, I remember that as a very young monkey, while all of the rest of my ape and monkey relatives were at the famed dojo of the Monkey King, learning their mini katas and especially skill in those staff, I was truly terrible. My arms were too long and weak. My coordination was awful. And everything was a joke.
Right.
And so eventually, after 2 or 3 years of them trying and failing to train me in the ways of the Monkey King and his unbeatable martial arts, I was sent away to the Interplanar School for Magic, which is a school where magical beings from many different universes go. At some point while there, I was called to the bursar's office, notified that my tuition had not been paid, and that did I have a plan for providing for my tuition? Well, given that Pockets has never paid for anything his entire life, he did not have a plan for his tuition, and was promptly out of Interplanar Academy for Magic.
Is the academy in Crucible?
It is not.
It would be a good place for it, but no, that's not where it was. So, and that's hummed around for a while on a few different planes. Till eventually I caught up with the Elysian Legion, who, after bumming around for a few more planes, eventually brought me back to my hometown of Crucible.
Jenny, what is Chen's
Clubs.
clubs? All right. Do you want to share something about what Chen does during her downtime? A piece of her backstory, or something that happened to her over the course of a journey, or her journey from the young Chen that we saw to.
I'm gonna go with downtime.
All right. So, when your hero broods, when Chen is brooding or something has really angered her, what is this thing that?
I like the idea that when Shin is upset and wants to just reset a little bit, it's like an angry parkour situation.
But what is it that makes her angry that sends her to the roots of?
Oh, what is it?
Yeah.
I think she definitely has a knee-jerk reaction to ever feeling left out, or when she sees people feeling left out, like when she's excluded from meetings, or when she sees all her friends getting tea without her.
I feel like these are very personal things that have just come up about Chen.
Maybe. Yeah, I think she has a knee-jerk reaction to like that kind of, because she had to deal with all that bullying as a kid, that she has a knee-jerk reaction to either when she feels like she's not being included or when she sees that happening to someone else, just based on the ridiculous reasons that she felt were very unjust with her own bullying.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the main one.
Sam, as you light your cigarette in your office, you have a diamonds. All right. So share either what is something that you work on. Is something that you study or work on, like an object, something that you worry at in downtime. What is something that you may want or are like? What is something you strive to attain?
Well, both of those are slightly related. There's an unsolved case that Sam is only really able to work on in his downtime. And those rare cases that are going to be long enough that his office materializes somewhere in Crucible for him to stumble into. Yeah, his first case was a young woman went missing. And the only witness was a chromatic man, a two-dimensional figure of many different colors, like a piece of vibrant graffiti come to life.
That was the witness.
Yeah, or at least the only one that was seen leaving the scene of the crime. So I'm continually looking for the kidnapped girl, any kind of lead in this cold case, and always keeping my ear out for word of the chromatic man if he should show up somewhere.
Awesome.
So I've got one of those cork boards, lots of pins and bits of yarn and
Kind of spread over.
all kinds of scraps of newspaper and the newspapers in Crucible. Somehow those newspapers in my office get delivered there. I don't know where
From somewhere in the medical.
from.
Right.
Now, my question is, you have all these ghosts that hang around with you while you're in their body solving their crimes. What do they think while you're like working on your own stuff on their time?
They don't.
Or do they know that's part of the deal?
They're sort of, they come and they go. You know, they're there and they're not
spiritual
there.
limbo.
Gotcha.
They're just sometimes they just seem to disappear around the corner for a couple of hours, and I'm free to go follow my
I like it.
So you're at the Broken Drum. Samson comes out. Samson is a dwarf.
Okay.
She has long, black hair that trails twice her height behind her, bound up into a very intricate braid that ends in a multitude of ends that each have a silver ring kind of holding them. So as she walks, there's this tinkling noise behind her, almost like the sound of bells. And she gets up and she's like, "God damn it, Chen!" Or sorry, Pockets. What are you doing back here?
Hey, Sammy, my girl. I've got some nice new rest fire guns that I just took off of 2 dead cultists. They don't need them anymore. I figured, the dragon peeps, they weren't gonna take them. You can have them.
Is this? Oh, I can have them.
Well,
Is this like that last thing I could have?
Well, maybe.
I was kicking fiends and dead out of my braids for 2 months. 2 entire seasons of Crucible. They wanted to know where you were at. The next time you bring fleas like that down to my place, I'll make sure they have different fur to nest in.
At least they were really small fiends. Well, these particular guns, I can assure you, their owners are dead. They no longer want them. And in fact, as far as I know, the Dragon Guards who asked us to kill them, which I admit sounds awful, don't really want them either, I assume. So again,
You assume.
I assume. I mean, I didn't stop to ask them, but they didn't really seem to care. They were right away like, "Hey, go take care of this other thing," which we did. Which
You know, buying Rustfire pistol and gear is on the grayer side of the law.
I mean, it's a pawn shop, right?
Let me see him.
Send coffee to friend.
I hand them over.
She inspects them.
Now, I did have a heavy mace, but then I thought the thing I started on fire. And then,
You can hear the braids kind of clinking against each other. You start something on fire? Are these from the place where you started them on fire? Pockets, you know I don't like heat down on my shop.
well, the mace is gone. It would, first we rolled it in oil,
I don't
and then we
care.
threw it through burning sewage, and then we hit some zombies with it.
I will literally pay you more. Just stop talking and go away. I don't have time for this.
This is why we do business.
We don't do business. You come here and try to sell me junk, and out of the kindness of my heart, I make sure that your junk has a place to go. There's a whole pockets wing of the broken drum. Listen, She drops 10 jacks on the counter.
Alright. How much for the monkey?
Do you know why shopkeepers put things behind the counter pockets?
Because most people have shorter arms, I assume.
Pockets. 50 jacks.
Can I open a line of credit?
She reaches up, she pats her long arm. Pockets. Your credit's no good here. And by here, I don't just mean the broken drum. I mean, like, all of the space bound by the Ouroborean wall. Like, the whole of Crucible. No one wants your credit. 50 jack. And she pulls the... It's still staring directly at you.
Alright, so could you just like put it... Second question. Before I ask you to put it on the counter and save it for me,
She takes the money back.
who gave you the monkey?
Did I rash you out to the fiends or the dead?
They were really small fiends and dead.
They were not.
You said they were fleas.
I don't tell anybody who buys things or who sells things. That's why I'm still in business.
Okay, but... I mean...
If I were to go out on a beam, anyone in the city, I want you to hear me, anyone in the city, it would certainly not be you.
Who would it be for? And do I know them?
He kind of reaches back and points at the sign, and it says, "No questions."
Alright, but how about I just give you these Rustfire guns, and then you tell me what I want.
You give me these Rustfire guns, I will sell you this monkey for 40 jacks.
I don't have 40 jacks, I have 7 jacks.
Oh, look at him here.
And you open line of credit for the remaining 33 jacks?
Do you hand over the jack?
Sure.
Okay. Now I will sell you this monkey for 33 jacks. But I'll keep this monkey behind the counter for 1 week for you.
Okay. I might come back for more jacks if I find them.
It's good.
If not, I will just continue to eat out of a garbage can.
Pockets, I'm going to tell you something my gran told me once.
don't take any wooden nickels. Right?
All of our misery comes from our own choices.
But nothing about wooden nickels?
Manifestly.
Well, most of my misery comes from the fact that my family was murdered, but keep that in mind.
That story in 33 Jacks will get you this fine.
Alright, thank you, Samson.
Now remember, Samson is the pawn shop owner that likes you the most. All right, so as you all show up at, so Bette Noir is within stone's throw of the tower. Like from this point, if you guys all approach it, the tower looms in all of your visions. Again, the tower is this edifice of gray stone that has, from a distance, you can't, it looks like just a monolithic structure. But as you get closer, you can detect facets and fissures and bends and windows that are, it's as if the shutters are made of the same grain stone. You can make out where they sit at, closer to the area. And you guys all know that the main entrance opens up into a large kind of public forum area. And that there are only actually 2 other levels that are routinely accessible. There is the 13th level of the tower, which is accessible to the council that rules over Crucible. And then somewhere on the 57th level is where the governor's palace is. But everything else only appears to certain people at certain times.
So between levels 13 and 57 is...
Between 2 and 12, and 14 and 56, there are stories, there are rumors.
Is there a stairwell? Is there an elevator?
You have never been inside the tower. So what I want from all of you as you approach Bette Noir is to give me a common knowledge roll.
All right.
Ah, yes, mine's quite low.
Don't forget, you always get to roll a d6 with it.
Fives.
5.
7.
9.
All right. So what you all know about Bette Noir is Bette Noir is a bar that is independent from all of the factions in Crucible. That doesn't mean that there are not fights there. That doesn't mean there are not. This is the 3rd Bette Noir in recent memory that has been rebuilt. It has been burned to the ground several times. But you know that it is a bar that it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter who you are. You are welcome in this bar.
We should say it sounds like it's associated with the Elysian Legion.
So that's the thing. What you all know of of Bette Noir is that it's run by a woman named Lopeset. Lopeset, all of you know that she was a former legionnaire who basically mustered out, took her funds from the Elysian Legion, and bought the bar, and apparently had enough to pay off all of the factions. No one messes with her. And in fact, she has so many deals that are set up that if one faction tries to make a push on Bette Noir, several others will show up to counter it. She maintains a tension of favors and secrets to keep the bar neutral ground. Now, Chen, you've been in the city a little bit longer, more tuned to the secrets of the city, so you know the rumors about Lopeset. It is said that she occupies a kind of liminal space in the tapestry of Crucible. That she's a former conduit. Some say, Eighth is a conduit of the Morrigan. Some say that Lopeset was a conduit of Amontiseru, who is a goddess of the sun. but that she was seduced or seduced a powerful fiend. Some say that fiend still lives in her shadow. The shadow of Lopeset does not match her shadow, nor does it move like her shadow would. It's always bound to her, but it always casts a figure with wings and armor, no matter what she is wearing. And at some point, she became a legionnaire and then mustered out. The music is live. You can hear it coming through the windows, stained glass, the tinted glass that kind of prevents you from seeing anything but shadowy figures against soft lit candles through the glass. But you can hear the sound of a harpsichord playing, something very upbeat, something kind of jaunty. And as you approach, a centaur is thrown through one of the large glass windows. It shatters. It hits, it tries, its hoofs kind of sparking on the cobbles of Crucible, tries to remain upright, and one of its legs snaps and it hits the ground. And you hear from inside, "Told you I could throw it!"
So is it like this on other planes where if the horse breaks its leg, you have to kill it?
No.
Are we supposed to kill it? Is that the proper thing to do right now?
Probably not.
Okay, well, just making sure.
It glares at you as it sets its own leg.
Oh, snap.
So you guys stand out of this, and you can see that the
I mean, it's
John have a bet. You can see that the door to this place looks like a pair of wings. They look almost like swinging bar doors, right? But they look like a pair of wings. One is in ivory, and one is in onyx. And this is the place that you guys decided to come to try and figure out what's going on. Right? You have a ledger.
You know about an ancient door?
You know about an ancient door.
Text that somebody remembers. Alright. Shall we gather at the bar?
let's shout.
Alright.
As you walk in, you can, the sound, as you push the doors open, the sound doesn't change until you cross the threshold, and then it becomes very loud. There are close to 100 people in here. Some are gambling, some are singing off key. More of them are singing off key. You can see several women and men have gathered around the person playing the harpsichord. You can see that they have, it's a very unique machine in the fact that it has 2 sets of keys, and this person is bald, completely, handsomely, head shaven, and she is playing the harpsichord with 4 arms. She stands a
Are they
little
all
bit.
her own?
They are all her own. Probably stands.
Are there any faces on these arms?
There are no faces.
Good question.
But you can see everyone standing around her is definitely trying to get her attention. There are.
Are they trying to make requests, or?
They're definitely trying to make requests. You can see that there are several of the elemental estates moving around as servers. The 2 main ones that you see, they seem to be mainly aligned with the air and the fire estates. The air one's kind of walking along the open space above the crowd, bringing drinks to and from tables. The ones from the fire estates zipping a little bit quickly through, leaving a trail of smoke and flames and sparks as they move through. The bar at the center is a large circular bar, and you can see there's a stairwell that spirals up. You all know, because you all succeeded on your common knowledge check, is that there are 4 levels to the Bette Noir. The drinking level, and then there are 3 levels above that are dedicated to gambling. The first one is dedicated to just games of chance. The second one is games of blood sport, and the third is only for the top tier rollers in Crucible, with a Raise on your common knowledge, you know that there are also rumored to be 1 or 2 levels beneath.
Oh.
Yeah. You can see there are several bartenders out there, but you do see Lopaset. She kind of stands above it all, literally. She is walking or flying above the bar, making slight adjustments to drinks as they move around, fucking with patrons, and you can see that her shadow on the wall seems to be brooding. Arms crossed, just sort of like the head of the shadow moving back and forth. Cast on the wall on the far side, 3-4 times larger than Lopaset herself.
So you say she's flying. Does she have wings or
She does not.
She's toes.
She just, well, no, it looks like she steps. Do you have any, do you have any arcane knowledge here, that skill that might help you here? You can give me a reader roll.
I have a reading. Yeah.
Give me a reading roll. Take a look then.
In the book? Right, that one explodes. That would be a 13.
So with a 13, you can see that she is not flying, but she seems to be walking on the echoes of the ground. Like when she walks off the bar, when she crosses the space of the bar, she actually steps down about 4 feet.
Huh.
As if she is like again, as if she is walking atop the echoes.
Is
of
that
the
like a technique? Is that shoes she's wearing?
You got a raise.
13, yeah.
A raise is, or 13 is 2 raises. You've never heard of a power that does this. This has got to be some sort of innate ability.
And she's human. As far as you can tell.
As far as you can tell, she appears human.
Fantastic.
She notices you watching her, and she sort of spirals down and kind of steps down onto the bar, holds out her hand for yours.
I give her my small, clammy hand.
She steps down.
Hairy. Small, hairy, clammy hand.
Be a paw.
The final living descendant of the once great Monkey King. And Sansaro, mercenary defender. What brings the two of you?
Just talked about this.
I am here for my regular drink, which is whatever's free and probably left over.
Nothing's free. But one.
Not even like the spit cups? I mean, I'm not gonna drink that, but I'm seeing there's gotta be something.
Sam, what's bringing you? So much potential. Just.
Yeah, that's a
And at this point, the shade is down the length of the bar, and you get the feeling that the head is looking right at you.
I wave.
As people go to put their cigarettes out, you can see 2 little glowing embers in the tray that kind of perfectly match up, like 2 glowing eyes looking right at you.
That's legit. You gotta teach me how to do that, man.
Sam, working a case?
As usual. Is there room at table, or is there room at the bar or anything?
There's room at the bar. Seats on either side.
Who
is your bodyguard?
That's just Chen. She works for the Silver Dragon Estates.
Welcome.
And I just coolly run a hand through my mohawk
It's
and
like
then look away.
feeling a little left out.
A little bit.
What can I get for you, Sam? The usual?
That'll do it.
She taps on the bar, and
You didn't call Monty a sprinter.
a glass comes down, just neat whiskey. Another glass comes down, it is green and it is on fire. She puts her hand just perfectly timed. The whiskey comes to you, the green glass stops at her hand, which is right in front of
And it's on fire?
It is on fire. Somebody has lit the top of it on fire.
Can I tell what it is?
It's on fire, and it's green.
I think this is for Chen.
So, you never show up here. for drinks. You are either on the leading or trailing edge of the storm. The first time I lost the Bette Noir was because you were there. What brings you here?
Working a case for the Silver Dragon, say. What do I know at this point about the case? So we've got, was it a servant of the Silver Dragon, an older,
So here's what you know,
Yeah.
kind of recapping.
right,
You were summoned because a valuable servant was lost.
right,
Don't know what killed this at this point.
right.
You were immediately
But
sent.
it's not the Minotaur.
That's Tanakh, yeah.
That's Tanakh.
No. Then you were immediately sent to meet up with Chen, and were put
Right.
on the trail of the Fire Eaters,
Mhm.
which then led to the death of Tanakh and the discovery of the door.
Do I have any reason to think that this is a good place to look for information about either the case I'm working or about
Yes.
things like the door, the sewers?
Locust always has her finger on the pulse of the city.
Okay. And what was the name of that golem again?
Tunisian?
Yeah, easy.
Kinesian. I was in the, funny story, I was in the sewers earlier today, around about where, Kinesian kind of slumps around. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm familiar with the museum.
Yeah.
For a stitch, not a bad.
Right. Right.
Did you know the sewers can burn? I did not know the sewers could burn. Chen set them on fire. It was amazing.
He adds to your grade.
I also did not know the drink could burn.
I had the sad experience of knowing that anything can burn. Fires.
Ooh.
Ran into some funny stuff. Does this look familiar to you at all? I pull out the flower.
You definitely hear the bar growling in responses. Interesting. Where did you say you got this?
Around where Tunisian's neck of the sewer system.
Near Tanakh's old store.
That's why.
When it burned down.
I've heard about that. But specific flower that's not native to Crucible. It's known as, well, it's by several names. The most common one is it's known as the Cane's flower. Be very careful. Wherever those grow, what I know of Cane's gets involved in things far beyond. Usually she's an over her head.
Now, would this be James, the clockwinder of the universe, or is this somebody else?
Some call her that.
Well. Look, hey. Throw my drink back.
At this point, the doors get kicked open. And sadly, because Sam took the hindrance multiple
Dang
times.
it, Sam!
That's him! I told you Samsara was back! And you can see a quintet of creatures moving in. 3 are feral creatures with sharp teeth and claws, black eyes, kind of walk hunched over. You would mistake them for ghouls if it wasn't for their bright red skin and the runes that have been burned into their flesh. They are all linked by chains of iron, you know, around their collars of iron that are linked to chains. They're all held in the fist of a black-robed and cowled figure. You can detect the hint of a bird-shaped face within. And it holds up its hand. Its arm and the robe kind of falls back, revealing a very taloned hand. And it points right at you, Sam, and it says, Sam Sorrow, your soul is forfeit. Come now, peaceably, and I will deliver you.
Yes, after they've pointed you out, I'm pretty sure that hiding behind your coat.
To Lord Noctune.
To Lord who?
Noctune.
Noctune. Do I know that name?
That was the name that was brought up last time.
Same one.
Yeah, King Lord. Yeah.
That the vampire witch was working for. So
Working with.
working with.
So, question. Does anybody in the city buy themed tea?
No.
Is there anything else they're wearing that I could possibly sell?
Over about 33
I
jacks.
need 103 jacks worth of something. If those chains are worth something.
What do you do?
Uh,
Lopusette kind
what
of.
is Lopusette
She
doing?
stands up and starts walking. Yeah, try not to burn it down this time.
Well, I was never really little friends with Lopusette anyways. I was more friends with her shadow. We go way back. Do I know this creep?
Chen, you recognize it as Collector Demon. Basically one of the middle-ranking fiends who has sent out like bloodhounds to track down souls that have reneged on deals, people who are trying to get out from infernal contracts.
Where does my dragon house stand on contracts like that?
So they're lawful. Somebody, basically made their choice in this matter. But if there's any chance of redemption, Lord Setorito would prefer redemption over being sent to the mines of the abyss.
Very good, thank you.
What do you do?
Excuse me, do I know you?
Your soul is forfeit, it says again. Seems very single-minded.
Before we get started, do you guys have 33 jacks that I could maybe borrow?
The side of your soul will be forfeit as well. You can see it's starting to, it's scratching the chains and whipping the back of the demonic soldiers, and you can just see blood is it's whipping them into a frenzy.
What does anyone else in this bar do? It's like a packed bar.
Yeah. Most of them, people in the direct line, you can see people kind of picking up their drinks. Some guy reaches back and grabs the bowl of nuts, and they're creating a pack. This seems to happen at a fairly regular interval at Bette Noir. That it is not sanctuary, it is not safe ground, it is neutral ground. There's a difference.
Oh, okay. Alright.
You should have been double fisting Jimmy Buffett from Jurassic World.
You know what? I'm just gonna go with it. What do you think? Why not? Let's go see what this dumbass wants.
Gonna go see Lord Noctune?
Let's go see the Lord Noctune.
Okay, but I was gonna sell those chains. This really neat monkey statue I want.
It's probably a bad idea.
Let's just go. What
Being delivered into the stronghold of a fiend.
Yeah,
Go tell. Send a word to your boss. Do you have some kind of raven or?
I think I have a better plan. And I pick up
Pockets.
Pocket's drink, slam it back, and then throw it directly into the face of the guy.
Alright, so this is a multi-action. I'm gonna need a toughness roll from you.
I think I'm impulsive.
Mine was curious. I was gonna go with it.
What?
I'm sorry, a vitality.
This is Noctune 1.
Which one's vitality?
It is up at the top.
Is it
Bigger.
bigger?
That's what, sorry.
We should beat up his goons, then we'll find out.
That's a good idea. We should ride the goons back.
Give me a big roll at -2 because of the.
Okay. That's good.
Probably not so.
So that's a 10.
Okay, you are definitely unfazed. The drink burns on the way down, but has this hint of blackberries at the end of it. It's quite delightful.
Wow, that sounds nice.
Now, give me a. I think this is an athletics test.
Okay.
Does the drink have a name?
Not that you know of. You have an axe. You just went and found fire. I'm not drinking it.
An unreasonable standard.
Running out of dice.
You need
Well,
more.
4
I
times
can hook
6
you up.
is 24.
24. 26, but then 24.
24. All right. What is your strength die?
My strength die is a d6.
All right. Roll a d6 plus 2. Actually, roll 2d6 plus 2 because you got a raise. And these explode as well, or ace as well.
Okay, that's 11.
Okay. Which guy are you throwing this at?
No, the one who's being the annoying one.
It's the guy with holding the chains, right?
Yeah.
The dog walker from hell.
You hit him very hard. The glass shatters. That's not enough to wound it, but it is enough to shake it.
Okay.
And with that, let's go with the chase. So this one goes to Jenny, Sam.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, Flevum, what you get? 7 of hearts, Jack of clubs, and
Jack of spades.
So, Sam, Sarah, you're up first.
Okay. Do the ghouls look like they are single-minded on me, or now that their chains are loose, are they just gonna go hog wild?
They're gonna go hog wild.
Okay.
The first thing I need from you is a spirit test, because all of these things cause fear. So now that you've engaged them, everyone give me a spirit roll at -2.
Alright, here we go. Son of a gun. Didn't have that.
14.
You two are fine. In the face of demonic creatures, you don't care.
Why?
Your
You don't like that?
Your spine is
That
fine.
Double ones.
I
I win myself.
And did you just critically fail a fear check?
I critically fail a feature.
In the Bette Noir.
Wow. Well, things I did not expect to have happen. This is why we game, right? Because the dice tell a story. This is the story of Pocket's wedding to Pockets.
It's a cold day.
Roll a d20, add 2 to it.
Alright. That's a 5.
Well, let's add another 2 to it because you critically failed the fear check. Alright, you are so frightened that you are vulnerable until the end of your next turn, which means vulnerable means you are at minus. Everyone gets +2 to hit you.
Fantastic.
Great. So, Sam, what are you doing?
That guy got
The creature at the bar drops down suddenly to from the almost ragtimey tune that she was playing to something that is very frantic and suited for a bar fight.
Minor key.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, you haven't died yet, so no.
I'm actually gonna
She'll play you
dive
out.
into the crowd and just try to lose the freak in the crowd. There's like
Alright.
people, it's like 100 people.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Yeah.
Thanks, John, for reminding me of the +2 for the critical failure.
That is a 4.
Okay. You hope when you ducked into the crowd. Pockets, you are up.
Well, I was gonna just say we could just go with them, but apparently we're gonna fight some demons.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my Knight of Dragons,
Okay.
which allows me to. I get 15 power points and unlocks deflection, unlock speed, and teleport.
Okay.
I'm going to cast deflection on myself,
Okay.
which should hopefully negate the vulnerability.
So deflection will allow impose a penalty on all ranged attacks
Okay.
that are sent your way.
So it's either
Or
melee or
melee or
ranged.
Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I gotta cast reading, get at least a 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a D8. 25.
All right. You have cast deflection on yourself, which is good because at this point the soldiers get to go on their 9, and they come racing into.
I don't suppose I could raise that and make it addition. Add a modifier for extra points. Okay.
No, you gotta do that before you roll.
Fair enough.
And you were sort of scared about all of this.
Yeah,
So
kinda
I feel
like-
like that's an okay thing. So 3 of them, sensing fresh meat, go jumping on pockets.
Something to remember: people around me actually have a +2 to fear checks.
It doesn't
Doesn't matter
because
because you critted,
Yeah.
but in the future, we all have +2 to fear checks.
okay. Pockets. What's your
Sam
what's your parry?
My parry is 4
So -2 +2 straight
so far. Yeah.
So 2 of them hit.
Ouch.
What's your toughness?
My toughness is a 6 now because I'm currently undead.
You are currently undead.
It's a bit of a state of mind.
I don't
And
think that's-
body.
I don't think that's really what it is. You have the armor?
That includes my armor.
What's your armor?
Oh, my armor's a jacket. Gives me a +1.
Really
What one?
want state of decay.
Fair enough.
So one of the hits shakes you, and the other one shakes you again, which means you take a wound. Would you like to spend a Benny?
Yeah. By the way, do our bennies read?
Your Benny is refresh at the start of every session.
So yes, I will spend a benny.
Don't forget you have 4. Yep,
Yep.
there you go.
And so that's going to be a spit, right?
John can have another Benny because that's spectacular. That's in my head.
That's spirit, right?
It's no, it's a bigger.
Bigger. Okay, well that's less.
Jenny, you'll be
That
up.
one explodes. So 11.
You shake it off. So you are not shaken or anything.
I duck under a table.
Duck under a table. Sam, one of them is coming for you. What is your parry?
My parry is a 4.
So it hits, but not with a raise. You leapt into the crowd. It saw you. It tracked you, and it sort of ran up onto a table, gathering a bunch of Earth Estate folks. Right, so craggy skin. Some of them had cracks. You can see little cinders glows from within, and it just leapt over them. Its back claw kind of catching one in the mouth. You can just like a little bit of the stone breaks free, revealing more of this kind of cinders glow as if you took a little bit of a hit on the chin. What is your toughness?
6.
So that will do a wound and shake you unless you would like to soak it.
Yeah, why not? So good.
All right, so give me a bigger test. Then Chen, you will be up.
Do I have to take the one if a 1 comes up?
No, you take a 4.
Okay, that's 1.
All right, you soak the thing. It kind of lands on your back, but it catches mostly trench coat. It shreds it a little bit. You're not worried about it. The trench coat isn't really real. It's more of a state of mind. Chen, you're up.
Okay, so just to recap for everyone else's sake, who's attacking and how many of them are there,
There
and where are they?
There are 4 demonic soldiers. One is on Sam as he tried to lose him in the crowd. 3 of them are on pockets that are sort of batting him around. So he is a pet monkey. And the collector demon is yet to go.
Okay, and those 4 were the ones who were previously on chains.
Yes.
And are
Off
off
the chain.
the chain.
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay, so there's 3 on pocket. If I used a burst there, since that hits 3 people, I
You can
could.
choose which 3 it is.
Okay, because I would like to not set civilians on fire nor pockets. We've seen how well that works out.
Yes. Normally, you set yourself on fire on a Tuesday night game.
That is pretty fun.
That is fun.
Okay, then in that case, I would like to cast my burst
Okay.
on those 3 ones attacking pockets.
All right. So
Thank
give me the roll.
you.
Don't tell me. Okay. That guy.
Dragon Soul plus D6 because you're a wild card.
Okay,
You're collecting on Sam's soul, John.
they were both 5.
That will hit. What's the base damage on your burst?
Joke's on me.
That is
I don't-
2d6.
So,
So you'll roll 2d6 and we'll apply it to all of them.
8.
All right. So with an 8, that will shake all 3. You breathe fire, right? Scales appear around your mouth and throat, and then you just let out a gout of fire. Oh no.
With the math wrong?
I think they're fireproof.
No, they are fire. They are immune to flame.
What a huge bummer.
You do hear from one of them just sort of,
we are flames.
Thank you for that info. I'll keep that in mind.
you get a Benny from the chat.
Oh,
It's good to do with fun.
thank
At
you.
this point, the collector demon, looking around, this 7-foot tall creature kind of pulls back its foot, and you can see there's this vulture-like face, just flesh running off of it, 2 glowing blue orbs, and it throws out the chains that had previously lashed the demons, and he's going to try and entangle you.
And he's shaking, right?
Oh, he instead. No, not this one.
No, that was the one that
smashed in the face with the
Yeah,
glass.
yeah.
Oh, that is the one
Yes,
that you
he
should.
should.
Thank you all for keeping me honest. I got distracted by the chat.
He's shooken.
He is shooken. Yes, he has to make his. He is no longer shooken.
But is he stirred?
He is stirred to come
Okay,
after
good.
you.
Once per game.
All right. This is a ranged attack. You are at medium range, so it's -2. So agility.
So my successful stealth. What did that?
They succeeded with their notice rolls.
Oh, gotcha.
And just in case anybody's wondering, I am rolling all these dice out in the open because I enjoy oracular power of dice. The chains come lashing out, and they actually catch that poor bastard between you, the Earth Estate fellow who was just here minding his own business, and he gets pulled across the table, hits the floor, and you see more of these sparks kind of fly off. He's dragged across the the floor, and the collector demon just kind of shakes him free and points at you. New round of power. Oh, 2, 5. So great for mine. Show them what you got, folks.
Seven eclipse.
All right, Chen, you are up first.
Okay, do I happen to know if these creatures are also immune to anything else?
There, you know that fiends are probably not blade proof.
Okay. That is good to know.
Chop it up.
And so the collector demon is holding chain.
It has chains, and they disappear up into the sleeves of its robe.
Okay. Then I think I would like to, instead of cast some stuff, do a cool, like, scoot over a table, if that's available.
Okay. Yeah.
To get over towards pockets and pull out my double whatevers. Maybe just a normal walk, so it's not an action. Walk over there.
I found an action to look cool and slide across the
Oh,
table.
great. That would look cool sliding across the table. Do these monsters have, is it weapons or is it just themselves
It
attacking?
is just their claws and their fangs.
Okay. Then I would like to attack 2 of them with like I have a scimitar and then a hook sword.
Okay.
Just do some of that action.
All right.
Now, this table that she's sliding across, are people potentially gambling on this table?
Nope, there's no gambling on the first floor.
Oh, dang it.
I like to think that everyone is very polite, picking up their glass so that I can slide by before resuming their drink.
There's no
They all just happen
gambling,
to drink at the right time.
but there are bets being placed. All right, so go ahead and give me the roll. -2.
I look over to whoever's saying I put 5 on the collector team.
Come on. Okay. Don't tell me.
This
Never had to do it.
satyr-looking thing kind of gives you a shrug, Sam, and goes, it's fighting plus your wild die, -2 for multi-action.
And do I roll them separately?
That's how I feel.
Okay, so my first one is 6.
Okay.
Or would it be the same roll for both?
It's
So you just said.
yeah, 2 rolls.
Okay, so first one, scimitar is 6.
Yeah, don't forget your wild die as part of it as well.
Yeah.
Wait,
So it's 8.
Yeah, so both of those dice should have exploded. Right, because your fighting's a d6, and your wild die is a d6.
yes.
Did both of them roll? Oh, I see.
Just one.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It rolled. It,
I see what you did. Go ahead.
yeah, I only re-rolled the one that exploded.
That's fair. All right, go for it. Oh, Jenny, both of those.
Okay, so it's a 6 and a 5.
The 5 does not hit.
Okay.
But the 6 does.
And then that damage would for the 6 would be
Dice is smoking hot for you today.
14.
14. What does it look like?
So that one would be the scimitar. So I like to think that it's just a very fluid, like I'm scooting across the table, I'm pulling it out, and kind of just going from the bottom up,
And just
like
cleaving it in twain.
cleaving it in twain. But then I'm so excited about how cool that was that then I just like completely bop with the hooks.
The music swells and then it ends in a.
Yeah.
All right. I do believe that it is Pocket's turn. There are now only 2 of these things surrounding you.
That's good.
You are not shaken. So what would you like to do?
I am going to stand up under the table and shuffle away.
Okay.
Like the table over top of me, so I turn
Okay.
away.
Using the table as cover.
Using the table as cover.
Wonderful.
But in the process, I am going
This is
to.
what happens when we don't have a.
Yeah, no, this is.
Well,
Halo
yeah, we're down half of our main firepower.
Good
But
thing the dice work.
That's right. The dice. I
I-
do not call it.
I am, however, going to while I'm doing that, I'm going as a second action going to cast Deflection on Chen.
Okay, go ahead and give me the roll.
So, and then as a third action, I'd like to. Let's see, but I'll give me a second. Sucks. I'm going to spend a Benny to reroll that.
All right, go for it. Not a critical failure, right?
No.
All right.
Gosh darn it! That's no sense
You
luck.
keep spending bennies.
Do it.
Do it.
Darn it! No. Okay. These guys they don't like me.
You are under the table as you're moving away. You're like, the magic just won't come. This is probably because sustaining spells was next semester after you were kicked out.
That's fair. That's fair. I sort of just took this, didn't never return my textbook and trying to study on my own
Yeah,
when I feel like it, which is never.
which is never. I'm surprised you haven't pawned your book.
I'll pull out that pistol I stole from
The
what's
rust fire
his name?
pistol?
The rust fire pistol, and just pop off the at the
The collector.
collector demon.
All right. The Rustfire pistol has enough range that you just need to hit a 4.
Okay. On my fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both of those explode. So that's a 7. Yeah, 7.
So neither of them.
Both of them got 7.
Nice.
Interesting.
All right. So that's enough to hit. So a Rustfire pistol
Mhm.
has a rate of fire of 1. It does take 2 actions to reload.
Mhm.
But it does 2d6 plus 1 damage.
Nice.
However, you can spend bennies on damage.
You can?
You can.
What does spending Benny on damage
You get to
do?
reroll the damage.
Reroll it?
Yep. Take the better of the roll.
You don't have to take the second?
Nope.
Oh, okay, he's spending. John Doom is.
John Doom gave you the Benny for that one. Nicely done, John. I think you have 2 from my notes.
6.
A total of 6. That is enough to shake the Collector Demon. Hit it in the chest, kind of staggers back. It is now the Collector Demon's turn. It has to see if it is
Unshook.
unshooked.
Thank you.
John says you should spend another of your own if you want. Thick as Garbo.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah,
Good thinking, John.
that's an 11. It's 2d6 plus 1.
It's 11.
That is enough to give it a wound. So it is going to try to shake it with its Benny, or soak it with its Benny. The one Benny that it has. With a 2 and a 1. So it takes a wound. You put a shot right through its throat. Kind of blow out the back of its neck. Splatters against the white side, the white wing of the door. And it kind of hits the ground. And when it hits, you can hear the chains rattling. And the chains pull into its robes. And then sort of wrap themselves around the middle. And the body snaps in half. And it gets pulled down into what is now just a black sooty stain on the floor.
I wanted the chains.
And there's some soot.
Can somebody buy that?
You like fish for me. You ever you just like collect trash for the fun of it or something?
You
I
like
don't really
garbage,
understand you or what motivates you at all.
right? Ben, 2 of them are attacking. One of them is attacking you, and one of them is turns and hisses and attacks Chen.
It's fair.
Chen, would you like the white die or the black die?
The black.
What is your parry?
It is 5.
So you are hit. Pockets, what's your parry?
4.
All right, so an 8 hits you with a raise.
Excellent.
5 hits you. All right, so 10. You will take. What's your toughness?
An 8.
You will take. Do you have any armor?
Yes, 2
All right, so you will be shaken.
Okay.
5 hits.
All right.
The dice seem to love to attack you. What's your
That's
toughness?
the dice, clearly.
Yeah, what's the toughness?
My toughness is 6.
All right, so that will be a wound, Ben.
All right, you know what? I got this one Benny left.
You got one
Bring
Benny
it
left.
up in my pocket.
Roll it.
Let's live another.
We'll spend it to hopefully not have them burn a hole in pockets.
Exactly.
The one you kind of stands up on the table and growls as it's ready to leap off at the table, and the other 2 elemental estate guys who just saw their buddy dragged across the floor lift up the edge of the table and flip it, and the creature hits the ground on its back.
That is a 9.
On
It's exploded and I roll a 3.
you take no damage from it. All right, Ben, we'll start with you this time. Jenny?
Unfortunately,
Sam.
the elemental states hit me just as much as the dead.
All right, what'd you guys get?
Real good. It was a really good one.
Look,
The Queen of Clubs.
Hard at your own heart. What are you doing?
My first. I'm gonna run over and try and stomp on the neck of that.
It is vulnerable, so
Yeah.
you get +2 to attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stomp on its neck.
All
That
right.
is a fighting.
It is fighting. Ben, you got a Benny from Tink.
thank you.
That's gonna be a 5.
A 5 with the +2 is enough to hit it. So the stomp will be your strength die +2.
Okay. 5.
5 to hit. You stomp on it, and it's under your boot, but it is snapping and clawing as it's trying to get up. 9 of spades, I believe, goes next. It's going to try and get up. Give me an opposed strength roll here. Sam?
Spend a bit. Not much better. 3.
Alright, the thing escapes from where you hit it, and
Right.
here it comes. It's attacking you. And it's attacking you. Same dice. What's your parry?
Parry is 4.
Alright, so that hits you. Chen, so it hits each of you, but not enough to get a raid. Chen, what was your toughness again?
8, but 2 of it's armor.
So 4, that's a wound. Do you want to spend a Benny to soak?
I would. I'll take the one that John Toon gave.
And a 10, I believe, just shakes you.
Yes.
I haven't done that yet.
You'll make a vigor test.
Okay, thank you. That was a 7.
A 7, you take no wound. It hits you, and it kind of rocks you back, but not enough to do any damage.
Thank you.
Chen is getting a Benny from Teak.
Excellent.
Pockets, you're up.
Benny's rolling.
That's keeping
so
the group alive.
these demons are still going to obey their master even after he's gone. He had to held them on chains before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
we
guys are terrible employees. You should be totally slacking off right now.
But
He's not even here.
it's also better us than like the rest of the people who had nothing to do with it.
I mean, sure, but
What are you doing,
like, he
Pockets?
just
Are you
leaves.
just complaining?
Complaining.
We can tell.
You know what? You guys should have a union. So- all right. None of my spells are particularly. I have nothing for damage in my spell set.
What about a spell to get us the hell out of here?
We can do that.
Take care of these.
You know what? I am going to cast teleport on Sam.
We work for the Silver Dragon.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You're going to cast Teleport on Sam.
Oh.
So 24 goes. Distance is 24 yards. Doesn't have to be somewhere I can see.
Teleporting to an unseen location incurs a -2 penalty on the roll. You're already at a -2 because this spell is that the city has granted you is a little bit beyond your ability.
So if I wanted to teleport him up to like the 3rd floor,
Be a -4 to your arcane roll.
Don't worry about it.
then don't worry about it being
figure
different.
it. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay,
Don't
well,
worry.
let's see. Can I teleport people who don't want to be teleported?
How good is a teleport spell then?
It's 8 adjacent characters. Okay.
Yeah, like if you teleport them somewhere else, will they just start attacking civilians?
I mean, if I teleport them 24 yards into the sky, will the demon devils fly?
Underground.
I mean, that's also good, but I can't see there. So, okay. So here's what I'm going to try and do. I don't see any rules about teleporting people other than yourself or friends.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's a problem, but I can do it to affect more than one target. So I'm going to try and cast teleport on all...
There's a teleport foe ability.
Okay, so that's probably not the same as teleport.
It is. It just costs you 2 more power.
Oh, dang. Okay, fine. I'm there for it.
You have to be able to touch them.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both attacking me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can just reach...
It is, and it is a part of a multi-action. You will be at an additional -2.
Alright, well, I've got 1 Betty, so. Alright. So, the other one is attacking... There's only 2 left, right?
There are 3 left.
There's
There's
one.
one on each of you.
Okay, are they within reach if I, like, moved and, like, could I touch them both?
There would be an additional -.
Alright, well, screw this one guy then!
Alright, give me the fighting roll. You get +2 to the fighting roll because it's just a touch attack. You're not trying to hurt them, so it's straight fighting.
Okay, that's my first action.
John says you can't win if you don't play. Are you trying to do 2 of them or just 1?
Just 1.
Okay.
Alright, that is a 5.
Alright, you reach out and you touch the demon in front of you.
Okay.
You may not teleport him into a solid object. That's what it specifically says here.
I'm just gonna go the sky I can see outside the window.
Okay.
So 24 yards up.
Well, it's 12, 24 with a raise.
All right, let's raise. Okay, so I can do 12 feet up.
12 yards.
12 yards up.
12
I mean,
feet up.
that's
So yeah, go.
36 feet is a.
All right. So here's what I need you to do.
That should suck.
So this is a reading roll.
Okay.
-2 for the multi-action.
Okay.
-2 for the fact that the spell is above you.
That is 4. Okay.
And then -2.
Yeah, baby. I can.
Oh, yeah, you missed bonus locations. You're at -4.
Okay, -4. Okay, so I gotta get a. All right.
Sending 12 feet away, 24. Or yeah, sorry, 12 yards away, or 20.
Yep.
Yeah, you got this.
All right, here we go. Double 4s.
You have a
So-
penny.
I do have Benny, so let's go ahead and.
Time to spend it, man.
Yep. All right, here we go. Double 2s.
Ooh.
Dang, nabbit.
Anyone in the chat got a? Anyone in the chat got a Benny to spend?
I'll take that as a no.
All right. So you reach out and you try and follow this
Just poke
power,
him.
and that's basically what you do. You reach out and you sort of.
Hand emerges from under the table, pokes the demon, and then comes back.
The chat is out.
Oh well.
All right. Well, that does not work then.
No, it's
The dice tell a story. Now, part of this story is the fact that the 2 elemental estates guy, pissed off at how their buddy was treated, are moving to age. One of them sucked hard. The other one, however,
much less so.
much less so, grabs a tankard and cracks it into the head of this demonic soldier, doing a D8 plus a D6 plus 3.
Probably the amount of our damage has been done by cops this round.
I thought. That's
So 10, 12, and kills the demon. Like the cup shatters, the clay tankard shatters, but there's a metal wire kind of running through the handle that gets jammed right into the demon's eyes, and the soldier kind of twitches and hits the ground. And, 2 guys kind of look at you, recognize you, but then not.
Okay. So now there's only 2 left, and it's the ones attacking pockets in me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to. This hook sword is not working out. So just swing my scimitar and try and do a cool both.
Take both of them.
Hit.
All right, same thing as before.
Okay. I totally remember how to do this each time. I don't have to look it up newly. I think everyone believes that. And I roll them separately, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the one attacking me first.
Right. At -2.
Oh.
yeah.
All right, roll the other one.
Okay. That one's a 4 and a 2. Can I spend a Benny or
The critical fail.
Yeah, that first one. Okay, that one was a 10.
All right, so I'll roll your damage and add 2d6, or add an extra d6 to it.
That one is 8 damage. Is that enough to kill them, or should I spend a Benny?
That is not. You don't have to spend the penny.
And that's just another reroll, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's good. That one was 6?
So you still keep the 8.
Okay,
One more. You got this. That's right, Riddick with his teacup. Have a penny, John. That is a deep hole, and I love it.
oh, that one's 11. I like that one better.
All right, that is enough to kill this one.
Yeah.
But you swing so hard as you kind of cleave down on this guy that you embed your sword into the bar, and it is stuck.
Is it like in the middle of the demon? And he's like,
Or at
No, the
twitching?
demon is moved.
It's gone.
Okay.
So your
Name that
sword,
hook sword.
yeah, your scimitar is stuck.
Okay. Noted.
Last round. You guys can. So how do you finish off this demon? It's,
Well, first of all, I realized after having poked him that was the most gibbon acting.
that is.
on the internet. Gibbon's like pulling Tiger's tail and then running away. So that was probably I couldn't resist. I think probably I just stand up and like tip the table over on him.
And the stuff clatters on him.
Yeah, just like it just falls over on his.
So at this point, there is this kind of rising chorus from the harpsichord. It makes you all feel like, hey, you've just done something awesome. And the people in the bar, coins exchange hands. That guy who looks at you.
I pay up.
Okay, he is pissed. He is pissed.
I pay.
But yeah, you pay up. You pay up. Sam's spending 5 jacks that he purposefully lost. He could have given you to buy that monkey statue that you feel connected to somehow.
Yeah, but people they can do what they want with their own money.
And you can do what you want with their own money.
When it comes into my possession, yes.
The drinks start to flow. Lopetette says, and around on the house. And everyone here's Sam.
I'm going to get out before anyone else recognizes me. But, you ever tell of any doors? Just in the sewers. Doors that can't be opened. Locks that make you look the other way.
Near the feathered vellum.
Yeah.
She kind of reaches out a hand, and her shadow brings her like a bar napkin. She reaches into her dress and pulls out a small pen, writes it down, and slides the napkin over to you. Thosis, he'll know what you're talking about, but Sam. And she kind of leans in, ups your face gently. Looks not romantic. In fact, both of you think it's a little bit more pitying. Except for the shadow, who definitely is not okay with what is going on. Sam, just be careful. Rumors are there's a lot more intersects going on. So, intersects are...
Yeah, no, he didn't think of that as well, but there was like
Intersects, if you had read through the...
I don't judge people's personal life.
It is a place where a forgotten piece of reality has kind of burrowed up into the city. And could start a small invasion, destabilize states. There's more of them. The door of Astagi is back in play. Leave it alone. She'll do what you've always done.
So the door is dodgy. Is it?
Thosis will know.
You know now.
Yes, and there are things that even I am bound not to speak of.
But those is
Your friend has outworn his welcome. You, however, are welcome back whenever it was. What did you say your name was? Glenn?
I just pulled up my hoverboard where I painted it on the bottom.
So it's
So like in Lisa Frank style.
pen under your lip edge. And there's an address on there.
Okay. What was the name of the person with the flower?
Haynes.
Cames. LaCames.
You guys...
Can I pull out these demon's teeth? I just need like a handful of fangs.
Yeah.
You recover, write down a handful of things under your equipment.
Handful of demon fangs. Ooh. I'm gonna find somebody who wants demon fangs or something.
There are wizards
Several
out
people
there.
pat you on the back as you guys head out. Seems that some people actually bet on you.
Okay, good.
Some people believe in us.
Good for that.
Do I know any junkies?
Give me a common knowledge. Sam, what do you check?
This is the best game.
Let's go reconnect with Ace and go find those.
Do know some junkies.
Do I know, just based on what I've heard in like Dragon Town, the name? Like, do I remember any like rumors or
Give
anything?
me a common knowledge roll.
Let it real look. I do not pay attention to things.
Oh, Dragon Town?
I love it.
Is
I
that
love
what
it.
That's
now.
amazing.
4.
So what was your question again?
Have I heard that name before in my
Oh.
dealings in Dragon Town? Yeah.
No, but you have heard the name Thosis before. Thosis is a scholar that never leaves its study.
Hmm.
There are a lot of rumors, like your lord routinely sends people to speak with Thosis, right up until he usually rips the messenger apart, and then they kind of leave him be for several seasons. But you know that your lord has a relationship with this thing. You've never heard what kind of being it is. It's just been referred to as Thosis the Scholar.
Okay. Excellent. I'm assuming if we decide to go visit, do I have any knowledge of like ways that they like being addressed, or
They usually,
how to not get ripped apart?
Did you get a raise on your common knowledge roll?
I didn't, but I could spend a penny.
Why don't you spend a penny?
I don't know how Jenny has already stopped being impulsive.
Well, I am part of the whatever.
It's true. It's
thing.
true. You roll any better?
No, I'm the fun.
Okay. You don't.
Great.
I do know some junkies.
Sadly, you do know some junkies. You actually know a small game by the name of the Sixth Hand.
Okay.
You know them because it is a reference to legendary six-armed demon. They are not part of that. They are they're not junkies so much as these are the guys who supply the junkies in Dragon Town, where district where you guys pull up. They mainly deal in Rustfire, which is not just the propellant for the pistols, but in its unrefined state, is a very powerful kind of euphoric stimulant, as well as they deal in Shimmer. Shimmer, you rub into your eyes, and it gives you visions of your life in other realities, usually pleasant ones.
In all other realities, I'm living in a tree. I don't even wear pants.
Like what?
Have you taken Shimmer before?
Yes.
Okay, then.
But again, in all the realities, I'm in a tree. Sometimes I'm in a zoo, which is really weird.
So you know the Sixth Hand.
Yes. I'm gonna see if I can sell them ground up demon tooth as a brand new drug.
How are you gonna grind it up?
We're like the first character. Like that's just not like character, like hero. You're sort of the worst version of Pockets that I saw. But you want to mortar and pestle demon teeth,
Right.
and then sell it to the Sixth Hand
Right.
as a drug of some sort.
I assume it's generally inert. I don't know, but this is. I need 33 jacks, man.
Are you guys going? What are you two doing while he goes and does this?
Let's go talk to Thosis.
Okay.
Sam does.
Can we do this on the way? Can I like just poke one of the dead guys and say, "Hey, go tell the Six Hands I got something for them"?
No, you're going to go.
Oh, we're splitting the party.
Are you?
Are you? Well, this is up to you. Are you going to deal with the Sixth Hand right now and try and?
Can I send word to them while we're on the way to go see Thosis?
Who are you going to send word through? Because here's the thing, I'm getting the longer we play, this is only session 3, I'm getting the general feeling that Pockets is sort of a flim-flam man. very few people would be willing to just, out of the kindness of their heart, run messages for you. And you are currently running very low
On social credit.
on both social credit and Jax.
Okay, but I am undead.
You,
So could I get one of these skeleton street sweeps to help me out?
Uh,
Will brother favor.
you can give me a persuasion roll
Hey.
at -2.
That's a 5, but -2 means a 3, so no.
Do you have a Benny that you would like to
I
say?
have no base. I have burned the entire stack.
You certainly
There.
there. So sadly, the skeleton just kind of looks at you, goes back to scraping bird shit off the side of the building. Literally where your street cred is.
Hi!
Let it go. It's a dragon.
You have change your handful of demon teeth to ground up demon tooth powder.
Right. Alright. I will hang on to them. I want to go see this Thothus guy, but then at a later date I will we'll see these 6-hand dudes.
Okay. You know where Thosis is, Chen. You have an address. As you head down to Falling Leaf Way, it actually is a really nice part of the area that is sort of maintained by the Silver Dragon clan. Except then you take the turn, and there's no one. There should not be anyone here. This is a small, private graveyard, kind of set here, kind of sectioned off by high walls. The spirit totems that keep both, the spirits of the dead in, and watch to make sure that the living don't desecrate the tombs within. But you find the one where Thothus is supposed to be. It's a small mausoleum. It's one of the oldest. It's decrepit. You can see the vines have worked their way into the stone. Chunks are missing. The whole thing looks like it's about to fall apart. This is
I'll knock.
thud multiple times. There's this roar through the earth, like more little chunks of mortar kind of fall out. And then there's this thumping noise as it moves closer and closer to you. And finally the doors kind of wrench open and the stone squeals and scrapes. And in the darkness you just hear, "What is it?" And this thing kind of comes out at the bottom of the threshold. And it looks up at you. This skeletal, mummified cat kind of rubs up, kind of circles around. "Let me know. Let me come back. Yeah. What do you want?"
I want to pet the cat.
Okay. You do.
Great.
It is like flaky old leather.
So cute.
Yeah. It's like a kit kind of scratched like right here. That's what it feels like.
Love it.
Mr. Thosis, my name's Sam. Sam Sar. Here's my card. That's it. Alright.
It just disappears. Yeah, this massive mummified hand that ends in thick, almost ursine claws kind of takes it from you.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
This deep sigh. "Come in." And as you enter into this crypt, that's where we'll pause for tonight. We'll pick up next week. We will be back with more Crucible of Realms next week. If you like what we do, please tell other people. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us here. Give a like. Leave a comment in the Crucible of Realms chat. We love running Savage Worlds. We love playing games. We love interacting with you. Chat, thanks for participating and keeping Pockets and Chen alive.
Thank you!
We will be back on Thursday with more Behind the Screens. We're going to continue talking about Savage Worlds. This Saturday, we have Exploring Glorantha, which will finish up our view of, well, no, it won't. It was supposed to, but Evan and I found too much to talk about. So we will have the second of 3 parts on just the first age of Glorantha. And then on Sunday, Ben still has to get me his character. I'm going to publicly let him know that he needs to do that. We're going to be doing our 13th Age 2nd Edition playtest starting on Sunday night. It'll be a once-a-month game. If you want to tune in, see how 2nd edition 13th Age works, now's the time to do it. Next month, we will be joined by the creator himself, Rob, or one of the creators, I should say, Rob Paintser. So, until then, thank you so much for joining us. I am JM. This is the group from the Crucible of Realms, and we will see you all in a week. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. Have a good one. Ace is wild cards.